Hi, my name's Stacey Smythe. Me and my team are going to be investigating knife crime and look at the effects of knife crime on victims and talk to the local police. We're also going to find out why young people feel the need to carry knives.
I carried a knife purely for protection to either you or them.
I got stabbed in my arms, my lungs, my artery in my leg.
Unfortunately, what they don't realise is that if they carry a knife, they're more likely to become a victim.
Liam Doyle went along to a youth offending service to speak to WPC Nicola Eby to find out what she thinks about knife crime and how she thinks the law should be changed.
I'm a police officer for West Midlands Police. I'm also a youth crime officer. I'm based at the youth offending service at the moment on secondment from the police. There's lots of laws surrounding knife crime, and some of the laws are quite confusing. Basically, one of the laws around knives is that it's illegal for any person under the age of 18 to buy a knife. It's also illegal for shops to sell a knife to anyone who is under the age of 18 or who they believe is under the age of 18. I think the fear of knife crime in Coventry is perhaps bigger than the problem of knife crime in the city. Knife crime is a problem for most metropolitan areas. Statistically, Coventry isn't one of the worst affected areas when you compare it to places like Birmingham and London. Although I think it's naive to think that Coventry hasn't got a problem with knives. There are arrests for people who do carry a knife, but they are minimal compared to some areas. And I think that's really important to remember, that Coventry is keeping it under control, really. It makes me feel very sad that we live in a world where knife crime is a problem and guns and gangs are a problem, but at the same time it makes me more determined to make sure that in my role as a police officer that I do something to help tackle that problem. I think certainly the feedback that I've had from young people, the main reason why people decide to carry a knife is for protection, but unfortunately what they don't realise is that if they carry a knife, they're more likely to become a victim of knife crime, as a lot of people who do carry knives end up having their own knife used against them in an attack. And there's always that possibility there if they've got the knife in their pocket.
I got stabbed on my birthday, 7 years ago. Guys that beat on my dad, I had a fight with a year later, and basically she says he's gonna get you. So I said, here's my mobile phone, phone him up, and she phoned him up, and I didn't expect him to come down, and he come down and basically stabbed me up 17 times. I mean, I got stabbed with a machete to puncture both my lungs. I mean, I was hit with an axe. I mean, I was sliced at the back of my head. I was sliced all over. I mean, at the end of the day, they meant to kill me, yeah, definitely. And basically it affected me in a few ways. Basically I had nightmares and stuff like that, and that it was a mistake, that they shouldn't have done it. I went to counselling for a while, basically because I was having flashbacks of getting stabbed, so basically the support I got was quite good. I think there's only one way to fix it, and I think that's stiffer sentences for anyone that carries a knife, basically because if you know that you're going to get a stiff sentence from the courts, I mean, it'll make you think twice about carrying a knife.
Knife crime can happen anywhere, especially in areas which are unsupervised with no cameras and low lighting, such as here in our Reconstruction.
Look, our reputation is going down and we need to bring it back up, you get me?
What's she on about?
Look, watch, learn. I'll show you how to get back.
Oi! Pass me that phone!
No!
Nice one.
Now that's how you do it.
If you think you're a bad boy, go prove it.
I ain't doing it, I ain't like that.
What you doing here then? I ain't having no weak thing in my gang, get gone.
Forget this then, it's not my life.
Wait!
Knife crime can happen at any time of the day. It can start with an innocent argument between boyfriend and girlfriend, or even between your best friends.
Yeah, so, you know, I'm going to go out tomorrow night.
Yeah.
We need some more booze, man.
Nah, it's alright. The girls are bringing them down. Don't you remember? God, you must be out your face.
Oh my God, look over there. Who's that?
Ah.
Hello?
Joe, you need to come down the park now. Logan's with some next girl.
What? I'm down now. Oh my God, can't believe what I've just heard. Come, we're going to the party now.
Yeah, just wait a sec.
Come, let's go.
What's going on?
I'll tell you on the way. Think you can cheat on me? I don't think so.
I know, you've got to teach them a lesson.
This is the last time he's going to do it to anyone.
What are you doing here?
What do you mean? What am I doing here? What are you doing here with her?
Nothing like that, nothing like that.
Yes, it is. I've blatantly seen all of them.
Not at all, it's not like that.
Yeah, just leave her.
What have you done?
What have I done?
So it's like my brother was working at the Tudor Rose pub, and he like got into a bit of trouble with a couple of people that were drunk and that, and they started starting on him, beating him up and that. I went over and helped him, and like pushed one of them away, and they grabbed a bottle and stabbed it into the back of my neck.
And what happened after that?
Just woke up in hospital about 8 hours later. I had 46 stitches in the back of my neck, and I had infected wound as well, where the stitches was, because of the glass, of the alcohol as well. They said you were lucky to be alive if the glass was like the bottle was any bigger, and he pushed it in like further, it would have hit you, like proper gone through your throat. I didn't want to have revenge, but like my brother and my dad did, because my brother thought it was all his fault, but it weren't, and that. And I just like was just telling him, talking to him, and telling him to leave it. And so he did, but the guy got like arrested and put like court appearance and that. When the court case was being held, and I couldn't be in the courtroom because I said I couldn't because of too much trauma, and I was still in hospital. And so what they'd done, they put a two-way TV, like from the courtroom to the hospital. And so then the nurse had to grab the camera off the TV and make me turn over and then show the actual wound. And the actual guy that done it, I don't know his name or anything, actually started crying, and they sentenced him to 3.5 years.
And how old was this guy?
He's 26.
26.
Done 6.5 months of counselling. I wouldn't leave my room or anything. It just made me talk about it, like asked me if I was able to talk about it. And once I started talking about it more, I was understanding that it's something that's happened, it's in the past, and I've survived from it. And that. If it was someone I knew, and that, like family or a good mate, I'd probably step in again. And just if I drag anyone off, I'm just going to keep an eye on them instead of turning my back again. Because once I turned my back, that was it. It just happened.
Victim Support are a national charity who give free and confidential help to victims of crime. Daniel Gwynn visited Karen Small to find out more about how she helps victims of knife crime.
Please, can you explain your job role to me?
Okay, my title is actually Service Delivery Manager for Victim Support, which means that I manage a team of volunteers and staff and ensure that the service that we deliver is the best that it can be and is what our victims need.
What are the outcomes for the young people you help?
young people can be quite difficult sometimes to engage with, so we have to make sure that we are sort of up to date with trends and in particular with the language that gets used to make sure that we understand what young people are saying to us and that we can actually talk to them in words that they will understand. But I've been working for victim support for nearly 8 years now, so hopefully in that time I've seen quite a few young people, and I still see them now and see them when they've moved on in their life, so that's quite nice. But lots of positive outcomes, lots of young people who've turned their lives round when perhaps all they've seen is the way forward is to perhaps become an offender after being a victim, but hopefully building their confidence up makes them make the right choices, and they go on to have good, fulfilling lives and become big, strong members of our community in the future.
Do you work with families as well as young people?
Yes, it's really important that the whole family gets involved, really, if a young person's become a victim of a crime. Quite often there are other issues within the family that may need addressing, and parents need a lot of support. They find it quite difficult if their child has become a victim of crime. They can sometimes carry a lot of guilt about not being there to protect them, and wonder sometimes, is it something that they could have done or should have done. So we work with the whole family in rebuilding the confidence for all of them. Right, I have worked with young people who have been part of the gang culture that's around at the moment, be it guns or knives in particular. And it's been nice to work with them, to see them come to us perhaps with the view that that's the only option for them, that's their family out on the street, perhaps because they're lacking in other parts of their lives, and to work with them and help them to see the impact that the crimes that they've committed, that they've been involved with themselves, the impact that that has on other people, and the impact of them becoming a victim, what that does to other people, to other family, to other friends and to people in society.
I carried a knife purely for protection because it's either you or them, and there's no, once it's gone too far you can't stop it, and the only way, like I said, it's you or them. It didn't really, I've definitely felt safer, but you get more paranoid about police officers stopping you, stuff like that, and it's just, it's dangerous play. It's dangerous just to be carrying one, man, because you get took off the road straight away, jail straight away, and it's just not a good thing to get involved with, really. You've got to be just as bad as them, because it takes two people to stop it, and if you stop and they don't, then you're losing either way. You lose either way. I've luckily broke away from it, and if I didn't, I know 100% I'd be in jail by now, or I'd be stabbed myself. You know what I mean? Because it's just too dangerous, man. Where I'm from, it's just dangerous. There's gang culture everywhere, and it is dangerous, and you get involved with it so easy. All the youngers are getting involved with it. They look up to the olders that are carrying knives, and they're all getting involved with it. And then, because they don't know the outcome yet, but all the olders do, because they've already been jail. But all the youngers don't know the outcome, and they're doing it, and people are getting killed, and they're getting lifed off, and they're not coming out till they're 20. And it's just like, people's lives are just getting wasted, man, and we're killing each other for no reason. I didn't bother with education because all my mates weren't bothering with it, and it's carrying a knife and to show off. I think if you're carrying a knife, yeah, then it means basically the lad's got problems or the girl's got problems, because you wouldn't carry a knife for no reason, not to show off. I don't think you would. I know I wouldn't anyway. Carrying a knife, it only leads to worse problems. You know what I mean? There's no good things come out of carrying a knife. Nothing good happens.
Having spoken to various people that have all in some way been affected by knife crime, in my opinion, I think that there should be more education on the consequences of carrying knives, and also more police on the beat. There is plenty of help and support out there for victims and their families, but most of all, we all need to stand together and say,
Drop knives, save lives!
Yes,
potential. Telling you how it is on road. To businessmen, yeah, can't speak for all my man stuck on the streets. And the soldiers fighting. Times are hard, and the struggle just keeps on going on. For everyone, for everybody. But that's just the way it is. I ain't got a big head, but when it comes down to it, guaranteed the track will get murked. I got words of power, them powerful words. Potential, aka Millie D. And I won't stop till my bars get heard. My bars are real, that's why you relate to each verse. And I want more than the street to hear my verses. There's too many women get a staff with their bags and purses. We shouldn't have to walk down the alleyway. I feel nervous, but this country will never be perfect. When the teenage girls going missing, traps on the street and they're minging. And the government wanna call me the villain, cause I wear the same clothes as the cruising gangs that are killing. Sometimes I feel like I'm underwater and I can't get up to the surface. And soon I'll take my last breath, so I ask myself, is this life really worth it? But they say every move you make in life has a purpose. But the single mums that live at the top floor of the council flats, and the lifts are always out of service. But you could be a youth with nowhere to go, that lives on the street, that gets arrested purposely, just for a bed and a place to sleep. And when it gets built, put up fingers, they don't wanna leave. I feel sorry for the kids that live in a box with nowhere to go, and the teenage mums that are broke. I've seen it, and the struggle goes on for everyone. To the businessmen and the single mums and the soldiers out in Iraq and the unknown artists that make their tracks in the high-rise flats. I speak for the ones that live a